Hello, everyone, and welcome to, well, I don't know if it's Smart Drivel, but we have a full new paradigm shift going on, John.
It's still Smart Drivel, Kurt.
Well, after 302 episodes in season one, we're going to season two. And in season two, like in a lot of television shows and other podcasts, there are going to be things that are a little different, John. Why don't you explain?
Let's talk about what's not different. It's still you and me. We're the co-hosts. We have the same very questionable judgment. The change we're going to make is in the format. Up until now, we've typically chosen a single topic and then wandered around like two guys lost in a mall. So we thought we'd impose a little bit of structure on ourselves in the hopes that our audience has a better idea what's going to happen next.
The idea is to give the listeners a rough scaffolding of where we're going, correct, John?
Yeah, so we're going to move to a 3-segment format.
Not one, not two, but three, baby. Oh, I forget another change. We're doing video now, so everyone can see you with your big gesticulations you do every week and your big facial gestures, because you have like a rubber face and you do all these crazy things, and now everyone can see them, not just think of them and picture them.
Kurt has a very expressive, almost plastic face.
No way, baby.
You're going to have to focus on more my micro expressions because I'm slightly less ridiculous than Kurt.
Me too.
I will tell you something ridiculous that has already happened in our shift to our first video-based version of the podcast, which will be up on YouTube. Kurt, for the first time in 303 episodes, is wearing a collared shirt when we record. You are pandering, Kurt.
I'm not pandering, John. I just happen to be Emily Post, and I understand of showing up the right way.
Three-segment format. Segment 1, Kurt, is what?
Segment one is something I learned. Each week, we're going to bring one of us or both of us will bring something that we learned that week that we didn't know before, and we're going to share it.
It'll probably be bizarre and it'll probably be of little usefulness, but you'll be happy to know it. Segment 2, Kurt, is what?
Segment two is something I need to rant about. This has its provenance in our many episodes that we had of, what did we call them, John?
Pet peeves, Kurt. And when you're
Peeves,
60
baby.
years old, you pile up a bunch of pet peeves. So Kurt and I are going to have a forum on every episode where we can share what torqued us off since the last episode.
And I bet
I
you,
wouldn't.
John, that they will have a bent towards people in their sixth or seventh decades.
And the third segment is something funny, a little story, a joke, something that made us laugh that we thought we could then drag you down with us over. So each episode, 3 segments, one or both of us will bring something to each segment, same smart drivel, a little bit more repeatable, a little bit tighter, a little easier to incorporate guests, but the same lightheartedness and the same Kurt and me. So
And
stick
we're
around, new
workshopping,
format, same drivel, hopefully a little bit smarter, but probably not.
workshopping a new title, which is Learn, Rant, Laugh, a Smart Drivel podcast.
Which has echoes of Eat, Pray, Love, but this will be a little bit less introspective and there'll probably be fewer epiphanies, less transformation taking place in our version of Eat, Pray, Love.
So we're going to
In any
start.
event, Kurt, let's get to it. Our first segment is something I've learned. Would you like to go first?
I would, John. And this blew my mind.
Why don't you tell us
Oh,
now, Kurt?
I was telepathically telling you. John, do you know why chainsaws were invented? Chainsaws.
Well, I guess we had to chop down a lot of trees fast so that we could make way for more man-made development.
No. Chainsaws were invented in Scotland for aiding childbirth.
So they had to, oh, childbirth, huh?
Yes, yes.
So I'm thinking all of the necessary orifices for both conceiving a child and delivering a child are already there. So the chainsaw wasn't used on the person, was it?
Yes. And it was
Huh?
to cut into the pelvic bone to free up a channel for the baby to come through. It was a procedure called, hold on, symphysiotomy, and it's to widen the pelvis. It was faster and more precise than knives, which they used to use, and it improved the outcomes for both mom and babies because it was before the modern C-section, and it saved a lot of lives, moms and
How
babies.
could it have been better for it's questionable that it could be better for the baby. I'm lost how it could be better for the mother.
Because if the baby, they didn't have the C-section yet, and if the baby was having trouble coming out, they take these knives and cut up the mother. This,
So
they would go in, they'd saw the pelvic bone to open it up and create a bigger passageway, and that was it. Chainsaws, not for cutting down trees, but for aiding in childbirth. Something I
do
learned this week.
doesn't seem like a surgical tool, Kurt.
Well,
In
John,
fact, there's very little that's surgical, unless you're a tree doctor, of course, in which case it's definitely surgical.
I think you need to change your mind. You're envisioning the modern day still STIHL ones. It was much smaller, and
See,
it was.
this is the benefit of video. You can see Kurt's gestures. Shh, shh. All right. Well, that's something I guess we've learned and something I didn't know before. So learning has a new component to it. So that's new. All right.
But
I'm
John,
going
just before we do that, take that to your next cocktail party.
a chainsaw.
No, the story, and just say to people, "Hey, do you guys want to know something I learned?"
I think I'm going to take this to my next cocktail party. That's called a transition, Kurt. Although this might, in your case, require a little pen and paper. However, don't go get a pen and paper. Are you looking at yourself in the camera?
No, I'm
Oh,
looking at my pen
I didn't
and
know
I'm
what
looking
this
at my
meant.
paper.
Okay, so Kurt, this is going to require a level of concentration and attention on your part. It won't take long, but you definitely have to follow everything I say carefully.
What'd you
I
say?
am go What?
What'd you say?
Exactly. I am going to teach you how to learn the entire 2026 calendar, including days of the week. And by the way, this will work for other years too, but since we're in 2026, that seems like it would have the most utility.
So you
So
mean like your birthday, which is April 20th, you can tell me what day of the week it's on?
I will give you a system for determining the day of the week of any day in 2026. And frankly, as I mentioned, it will go on with one change to subsequent years. Okay, are you ready?
Ready. By the
This
way,
is
where
one of
did you
the
learn this?
I learned this on Instagram, and
So
I
really
really should have
credible
brought the guy's
source.
name who I learned this from. What?
Credible source. You might as well get a magic 8 ball.
I don't think that's true at all. There's some highly credible people on
And there are
Instagram.
some highly incredible people.
That's true, but they're not mutually exclusive. Are you ready again, Kurt?
I've been ready the whole time, John.
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing you have to know is what the doomsday weekday is
What?
for the year. And it's not doomsday in like, oh my God, something bad is going to happen. That's just what they call it. All you need to know for now is the doomsday day is Saturday.
Okay, can I just tell you one thing? The doomsday clock is now the closest to doomsday it's ever been. It's like 85 seconds away.
Isn't that definitional? Because we're getting closer to doomsday doesn't have to be closer than it's ever
No,
been.
because they measure things like
Danger.
carbon dioxide in the air and social
Okay.
unrest and
All right,
this and
don't
that.
bring me down. I'm teaching you the calendar.
All right, here's the good thing about the doomsday clock. Sorry, it can go forward or back. So while we're going closer to doomsday, we have the ability in our hands, in our souls, to move it the other direction.
Okay, I want to update my instructions to you. Yes, you have to pay
Saturday.
attention. You have to pay attention. I thought implicit in that was listening, not speaking. So begin again.
Do you think there's a
What?
difference between listening and hearing?
Of course there is. Kurt, what is the doomsday
Saturday.
day? Fine. Now I need you to learn this.
What
4-4.
base was Saturday? Third base?
If you don't stop, I'm not going to teach you and our listeners how to
Who's on
know every
first?
day of the week, the entire calendar.
All right, ready.
Here's the first thing you need to remember. 4-4, 6-6, 8-8, 10-10, 12-12. Okay?
Yeah.
So that gives you April, that gives you June, that gives you August, That gives you October and December.
Good for
Okay.
you, John.
4-4. You got it from there. The second thing you have to think is I work 9 to 5 at 7-Eleven. Can you remember that? I work 9 to 5 at 7-Eleven.
I think so.
Okay. That gives you 5-9 and 9-5,
May and
May and
September.
September. That gives you
July and November.
7-Eleven, July, and 11-7. So we now have like 9 months covered. And then you need to remember Pi Day, which is not hard to remember because our first episode and last week's episode, which was an attempt, subtle as it was, to bookend season one, the classic 302 episode season format that we probably invented. Pi Day, remember Pi Day?
3.14.
Or March 14th,
Correct.
the last day of February,
Einstein's birthday, by the way.
the last day of February.
29th on a leap year, 28th otherwise.
What year is it in 2026? What will it be?
28th.
Right? And then January 3rd. But you don't have to remember January 3rd because it's behind us. 4-4-6-6 and so on. I work 9 to 5 at 7-Eleven, Pi Day, and the last day of February. You seriously cannot remember that? You're
Chance,
60, not
you said
90.
you said it's going to be so easy. Then you gave me like
By the way,
11,000 numbers.
I had no problem. It was easy.
Okay, I got it. 4, 4,
All
6,
of
6,
those
8, 8,
days
10, 10.
are a Saturday.
What?
All of those days are a Saturday. So if someone says to you,
Oh,
April 20th, my birthday,
okay, hold on.
what day of the week it is, you go to the closest
I got it.
4-4.
I got it. It's 16 days after that, after 4, 4. So it would be a Monday.
Right. Now let me give you another question since now you're sort of getting into it.
Fred
How
Astaire.
about September 15th? Actually, forget it. How about the Ides of March? March 15th, Julius Caesar, the whole deal. Why?
Because Pi Day is a Saturday.
Exactly. Now you got it.
Give me
Not so
another.
hard. 4-4 and on, I work 9 to 5 at 7-Eleven, Pi Day, the last day of February.
Give me another one.
Another test?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Christmas.
12/12 is a Saturday.
That's correct.
13 days after would be a Friday.
You now know that Christmas Day in December is a Friday. Now you're getting it.
But why do we need this knowledge?
Because if I said to you, you brought up, what day is my birthday? What day is it's going to be your birthday? When's Christmas this year? When's July 4th this year? In case you're wondering, am I in for a 3 or 4 day weekend?
All right.
People ask these questions all the time.
What day in 2026 is International Talk Like a Pirate Day?
September 19th.
Well, what day of the week?
So 9/11 is a Saturday. That means 9/12 is a Sunday. And 7 days after that, 9/19 is also a Sunday.
Darn it.
Okay.
I
So
don't
by
like
the
it when
way,
it's on a Sunday.
there is a formula for determining what the doomsday day is each year, which I'm not going to teach you. Each year, just look up what's this year's doomsday day of the week, and you'll be set. You're welcome. I think that's cool.
I think it's kind of like Mahjong. Every March, they come out with the new cards for the year. And they have the different rows and different things you can win on.
All right. We now concluded our first ever segment of What Did I Learn? And it took a lot longer than we thought it would be. So very quickly, give me a rant, Kurt. What has torqued you off, curled your toenails since the last time we recorded an episode?
I was out to dinner the other night with my girlfriend. I made a reservation at a restaurant, I think for 7:45. Now, I was up here in Connecticut. 7:45 is late for Connecticut. So that was probably the next. There was someone eating in front of us, which we knew. We get there. We said, we're here for our reservation. They said, there's still someone sitting at the table. Okay. And then we sat there and looked. They had finished their meal. They had paid for their meal. And they had the bag with their doggy food on the table. And they sat there talking, and they could see us standing there waiting to sit. I get it if they were late or they ordered too much or they had extra food. They were done. Get up, give us the friggin' table.
Excuse me, I need to make a wardrobe change.
Fancy.
Those were my computer glasses, but I realized I don't need to read. I just need to look at your face. So, you know what? That is legitimately annoying because underneath it, which I think is underneath a lot of these kinds of rants that we're going to engage in now on camera as opposed to our normal off camera ranting, is lack of recognition that you don't live on this earth by yourself and that there are implications to other people's lives of you just being self-indulgent.
Like those people were, you mean, not me
Yeah.
in that case.
Which yeah, that would drive me nuts, just sort of oblivious to the fact that people are waiting,
But
even though
they
they
were not even
clearly
oblivious. They knew they could see us
it's
standing
just
there.
rude and self-important and selfish, and you know what? I'm actually mad now on your behalf.
Thank you.
So, I think my rant is
Yes.
has a similar behavioral
Bent to
underpinning.
it. Yes.
So, I go to the local Equinox as my gym,
Oh, fancy
and I have become
schmancy.
thank you. I have become increasingly aware of the complete and utter lack of gym etiquette because everyone thinks it's their own personal gym.
Yeah.
The thing that has been the biggest problem recently is people talking on the phone. So it's very clear at the gym that you're not allowed to have phone conversations in the workout areas. Go down to the lobby, have a phone
How
conversation,
is
which
it
is
made
what I
clear?
do.
How is it made clear?
People are told they need bigger signage because clearly I don't even know that would make a difference, but for those, maybe it would make a difference. In any event, the number of people who are having unbelievably loud phone conversations while other people are trying to work out is unreal. I even have my AirPods in and I can hear these idiots. So I have taken it up upon myself to become a vigilante and I have started to police this, which I resent because it's not my job. I'm there to work out, whatever I'm doing.
How do
So
you
I
police it?
I go up to people and I'm like, "You're talking really loud." And some people are like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize it. I'm terribly sorry." And then other people are ass clowns and they'll be like, "Huh? What? Huh?" Anyway, you know what? You're bothering everybody around me. I'll give you one postscript on this. It's not talking on the phone, but it's gym etiquette. A guy's on one of those stationary bikes with the front wheel is like a fan, so it's for the resistance. The guy is sweating his balls off,
Good for him.
and he's leaning forward, and the sweat is dripping down onto the flywheel
Awesome.
and creating mist. I don't blame him for that. That's just the design of the thing.
And the way he
However,
sweats. Yeah.
there's a puddle on top of all of the, all the monitors and stuff. When he's done, he gets up and leaves.
No wiping off.
Doesn't mop it up, doesn't clean it up. Why? Come on, man.
All right. So just two things. First of all, to be in solidarity with you, about a
Number
year
5.
ago, I was on a crosstown bus in New York coming back at night after dinner. And there was a guy on his phone, on speakerphone, basically yelling into the phone the whole time. And I turned around and I gave him a look and a look. And finally he goes, and I said, "You're talking too loudly. We don't want to hear your conversation." And he says to me, "I have trouble hearing." I
Not
said,
my problem.
"Wait until you get off the bus." It wasn't like it
You
was an
know,
emergency. He was talking about the day. But anyway, I
it's on. How
think
about the people who do it on speakerphone
that's what I
in
was saying he was
public?
doing. So I think you're in danger, John, not me, you, of becoming an altacocker. And you just got to be careful or embrace it.
Look,
One of the all-time great Yiddish words, by the way, altacocker.
Alta.
You know
I
what it
don't know it.
means?
Is that like schmaltz?
No, you don't know what altacocker is?
I've heard the word, but I don't know. Because you grew up where you grew up, you actually know more Yiddish words than I do.
An altacocker is an old, irascible guy who gets fed up with a lot of things.
I am irascible. That's no problem.
You're an
But
altacocker.
people don't people okay. So we got that out of our system,
You
although
are
I
an
doubt we got it
altacocker,
out of our
John.
system.
You're an
What's that?
altacocker.
Fine. I don't believe that you should just do whatever you want without regard to how it impacts the people around you. You don't have
Now,
that right.
yes. Now, but I do have, I'm going to disagree with you here for a second. I
This
personally,
will become my rant for the next segment,
I
for the next
don't
episode.
believe that you or other people should take it upon yourselves to be the vigilantes. In fact, I don't like the people on airplanes who are like, "Excuse me, can you?" I don't like those people. It should be the people in
Did you
charge.
try out for the role of Charlie Brown's teacher?
I think it should be the people in charge.
I agree. So I'm gonna talk to them, and it's not I have before. It's not my intention to go around to everybody. I'm there to work out. It's their job to
Don't
run a
be
gym.
that guy, John, is what I'm saying.
Sometimes I have to because there's no one around and no one is gonna do something about it. Okay,
Okay,
let's have
Bernard
something
Getz.
funny now as a mental salve, as a central nervous system salve. You better have something funny, my friend.
Okay, Bernard Getz.
Oh, there's a little vigilante reference from the 1980s, New York City. Say something funny.
Well, I have two. One is just very quick. Read a quote or saw something by, it was Alfred Hitchcock the other day. And what he said was, I want to get it right. "I'm sorry and I apologize" means basically the same thing, except at a funeral,
Yeah,
right? It's funny because if you apologize at a funeral, it means you kill the person. Capiche?
I capiche.
All right, but here's my other thing. Same restaurant, same night that we finally sat down.
Wow, this was a content-rich dinner.
We sit down, and the table next to us, clearly a first date or a second date. The woman, much younger than the man. The man, as a lot of men would do on a date, is trying desperately to hang in there because I think he just wants a kiss at the end of the night or something. First of all, they order everything, right? They order appetizers, they order dinner, they order dessert, then they order coffee at the end of the dessert. So he's trying to milk this thing. She's sitting there. She's the most hysterical person. First of all, she's taking pictures of every one of her courses. Then she's talking about stuff which he clearly does not understand or get. And then we hear her talking about, by the way, what's your relationship aura or something? I'm getting it wrong. It's like the ENTJ things, but they have it for relationship.
Well,
It's
I'm an altacaca.
she's going off. And this poor guy's like, yeah. And he's just wanting so bad to probably try to kiss her at the end of the night. And she is so off the rails, talking nonstop. And he's trying to get words in. It was very funny.
So that actually reminds me of a funny slash embarrassing for me dinner story about a couple on a date sitting near us.
Were you a vigilante?
No, but sometimes I do overstep some social norms
I think I've known you for a long time.
and then regret it. So Suzanne and I are having dinner at a restaurant nearby, and we're sitting outside. So I guess it was summertime. Very nice sitting outside, and there's a couple next to us. And it's very easy to hear their conversation. The tables were close by, and we weren't trying to eavesdrop, but we each picked up enough of their conversation that we became confused by whether they were on their first date or they had known each other for a long time. Usually you can tell, but they said some things that would indicate, we're sort of swapping biographical information like you do when you meet somebody, and other stuff that indicated that they knew each other for a long time. We were so confused. Now, normally when you're confused by someone else's conversation, private conversation, you leave confused by someone else's
Yeah,
conversation.
you don't.
You don't join the conversation. I joined the conversation. I leaned over and I
Horses.
said, "Excuse me, may I ask this I think may I ask the status of your relationship," or something like that. And the next thing you know, well, first of all, they welcomed it. A lot of people would say, "Would you please butt out of our conversation? This is a two-person conversation." But they, and particularly she, embraced the conversation. So now I'm stuck in a conversation that I want to get out of because I couldn't keep my big fat mouth shut.
But
And I
were they?
basically
What
said,
were
"What's
they?
up with your relationship?" So they had known each other for a lot. It was not a first date. And the next thing you know, we had some work stuff in common. We're swapping email addresses, and I'm getting emails from her that I didn't want to get. So I would like to tell you I learned a valuable lesson. I'm sure Suzanne was like this the whole time, but don't insert yourself into other people's conversation
You know
at
who
a
does that?
restaurant or probably elsewhere.
You know who does that?
Me.
Altacockers.
You do it too, Kurt.
You're out.
You wouldn't hesitate to
Well,
say blah, 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 blah.
you said something else the other day when we were talking, and we were talking about being old and this and that. And you said something that was so good and funny because it's so true that at our age, we get so excited when a meeting gets canceled or plans get canceled that we don't have to do anything. Whereas when we were younger, you wanted meetings to happen because, oh, I'm going to get in there and show them. And now it's like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you feel like you won something, but you don't have to do it.
I can watch Jeopardy. I don't have to go out tonight.
Yeah, it's like you won a block of time back. So Warren Buffett, I mean, a lot of times we say yes to something because it sounds like a good idea a week away or a month away or 6 months away. And then it arrives, you're like, "Huh, I really don't want to do this." And that reminds me, Warren Buffett had a system when someone asked him to be a part of something, to get an invitation, they're called. He would ask himself, if this were today, would I want to do it? And if the answer is no, or if this were tomorrow, if the answer was no, man said no to it, which is a good system. Did you see my Smart Drivel mug?
Yes, thank you. By the way, I invited him to two things and he accepted to both.
Oh, a Harlem Globetrotters game?
In Omaha, Nebraska,
Of
2 years
course.
apart. I wrote him a letter the first time. It was a very funny letter. And he responded in a letter back saying, I'd love to join you. We spent 3 hours together. And then 2 years later, I invited him again. He came again and we had a great time. He was terrific.
So you got Warren Buffett to come twice.
Yes. Okay. What is your funny thing besides that?
I believe it was joining someone else's restaurant conversation and embarrassing myself and getting myself on a slippery slope that I
Oh.
couldn't figure out how to get off of.
All right. This has been quite a week. We learned something this week. We laughed something and we ranted. I don't know what's going to happen next week.
Okay, July 18th. What day of the week is it, Kurt?
It's easy, John, because 7557. So July 5th is a Saturday. So 10 days after that, Sunday, Tuesday.
7-Eleven. I worked 9 to 5 at 7-Eleven.
I was
So July would be 7-Eleven.
so Saturday's the 11th, Sunday 12th, Monday 13th,
I
4th,
actually forgot day I asked you about.
Wednesday, July 15th, Wednesday, Bastille Day.
Bastille Day is July 14th.
Flag Day is June 14th, John.
Bastille Day is July 14th, Kurt.
Okay. I like to celebrate it on the 15th.
Yeah, so you can get when all the Flag Day stuff goes on sale, because it's not for another year, you load up.
Do you know that I wrote a short story called The Day Afters? And the whole idea was these people lived in Greenwich, where you grew up, and they couldn't afford to live
You
there.
said that like a dig.
They couldn't afford to live there, but they wanted to keep up with the Joneses, but they couldn't afford it. So every year they'd wait till the day after Thanksgiving, the day after Halloween, the day after Christmas to celebrate because everything was 80% off. And then they'd go trick or treating the day after, and all the neighbors would like close their thing, and the kids grew up thinking this was appropriate. Anyway, that was my story. All right.
Bastille Day. Okay, we've wrapped this sucker up.
Season 2, episode 1.
Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on the normal places you get podcasts in audio form. Tell your friends. We hope you enjoyed the new format. We're going to keep banging away at it. You may experience the first guest ever on Smart Drivel because you can see how it'd be much easier for someone to plug in. We hope you've enjoyed this. We'll be back next time with another brand new episode of Think,
Learn, rant,
Learn,
laugh,
Pray,
John. Very
Eat,
easy.
Love.
Learn,
Learn,
rant, laugh.
rant, laugh. It's a Smart Dribble production.
Ciao,
Goodbye,
everyone.
everybody.